Welcome, everyone. Today we have George give us a tour of his recently rehab property at 1675 South Cora Street in Des Plaines. So this again is part of Rehab Palooza. So we're going to be showing you properties from our investors for the next few weeks. We just want to make sure that you get a feel and behind the scenes of what it takes to do rehabs, different phases. So thank you for joining us, George. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Um, so if we can just start off by, tell us how you found the property, purchase price, rehab, ARV, timeframes, that'll be great.
So with this property, it was an MLS deal. It was sitting on the market for a while. It was overpriced, so I ended up calling the agent and speaking with the agent and trying to figure out what the situation was. And the property everything needed to be redone. So this property was a gut rehab. I didn't do a termite inspection. As we were taking apart the property, there were termites here, so we ended up ripping out all the floors, all the joists. So everything is brand new in this property. Took a little bit longer. I did, you know what? I budgeted for it. I was pretty decent with my budget. So I bought the property for 158. They were asking 200,000 for it. I was able to negotiate really well with the seller. They were motivated to sell. Seller walked away out of the closing. I think they made about $160 on the property after the closing costs and everything. So I did well. I did all new windows, all new doors, trim, flooring, everything here, lighting. So this is the living room. When you walk in, this closet wasn't here. There was a wall that was here. So I opened up the floor plan. I had to reframe out the whole property. So I'm still working on it just a little bit, just doing some decorating right now, waiting for some other decorations, some curtains and things of that sort. Curtain rods they'll be in a couple days, and this will be an Airbnb for me. So kitchen design. So I have basically stainless steel appliances. There's no basement in this property. Here's a second bedroom. Started putting things together. There's a crawl space. I actually made a hatch in the floor here, so this way you can actually get into the crawl space and take care of whatever you need to if you need to. The house was designed poorly. The crawl space was under the main sink, so you'd have to take apart your kitchen cabinets and pull the countertop off and everything to get to the crawl space, or you'd have to go in from the outside and through one of the windows. Here's the bathroom. We did the spa type springers in there, so you have different tile work. You have the waterfall. Can everyone see?
Yeah, we see that.
Okay.
Is the
So
glass door custom made or off the
no,
shelf?
no, that was just something bought off the shelf. I think this one was a Menards glass, whatever, shower glass. So this house was a 2-1. I consolidated everything. Here's the laundry room here, or the laundry facility, stackable. This here was a mechanical room. So I got a bunk bed in here. It's a small bedroom, but it still counts. I got the electrical panel here. So basically, I put the furnace in the attic, and I was able to do an outdoor water heater. So if you walk outside, you have a big deck over here, and still got to do a little landscaping, get rid of a few things here. And what we did here also is we did a outdoor water heater, which works well. So this really helped us out because we did not have to take up any space inside the house. Hello. I'm sorry. So somebody just came over. I think somebody's looking for a rental. So sorry, guys. Give me 1 minute. Sorry about that. So any questions, guys? So ARV on this right now, just had it appraised out 305.
Whoa, that's amazing. What was the rehab?
So rehab, I counted up, I'm right at about 60,000.
Whoa, that's amazing.
So yeah, it came out decently. It took me a little time, but you know what? We were patient, and I also did. I didn't do fiberglass insulation. We did spray foam, the kind that you seal the crevices. So this house is very well insulated. Um, and I was lucky because I recycled the furnace, and I also, yeah, the furnace and the air conditioner were good, so I was able to recycle that. And now it's basically just to get it rented. Started advertising, and it looks like somebody just showed up and they want to talk to me about renting. So, sorry.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. How long did the rehab take you? And how
So,
long
so
was?
it took a
Yeah, go
while. I
ahead.
had some issues with permitting. So I think I'm about 7 months into it. There was no fireplace here, so we did a nook, did some tile work here to give it that nice effect, whatever. So I think it's about 7 months I'm into it.
That looks beautiful. Can you zoom in? So is that like a fireplace or what is it?
Yeah, it's a fireplace that actually gives out heat. So got this on clearance. So here I'll go sideways if that I don't know if that's any better.
Yeah, no, that looks very, very nice.
So and then I have surround sound in here, so make it real comfortable for people. And everything will be controlled via remote, through Wi-Fi. If I need to get into the house, temperature, everything. And another thing I did was, like I said, there was a wall that was here. The house was all segregated. I had to redo the whole line up inside the house, or the way things were inside. I did organizers in all the closets, so everything's well organized. Um, so it should be good for a long while, and all the closets have automated lights or motion sensors, so this way if you walk away, the lights shut off.
That is really, really cool. I really like it. So that was pretty smart. So you turned that into a 3-1, correct?
3-1, right? So it was a value add, so I got lucky.
That was very good. I think that made a huge difference.
Yes, it did.
So what size bedroom is the third bedroom that you
So
converted?
the smallest bedroom is, what is it? It's 8 by, I think it's 8 by 9. It's a little short, but I was able to get a bunk bed in there, and I get still a little small desk in there. So,
Okay,
but closet wise, I won't have a closet there, so they'll have to share from the middle bedroom. The closet here is a large one. It's from wall to wall, so they could share that one. But again, this is going to be a short-term rental, so it's not a long-term rental. So hopefully they won't need so much space.
great. No, that looks beautiful. How much did you spend on the furniture?
You know
Is
what?
that your
Not
furniture or?
No, it's not. You know what? The couch. I think I spent. Oh boy, I think it's $1,300 for the couch, brand new. Got it on sale. The bed. I don't remember now. You know what? It wasn't that much. You know what? I'm just counting the remodeling costs. I'm not counting for furniture
The
and all the other decorations
Okay,
and stuff. I'm still not done yet. I'm hoping I could come in under $8,000.
okay.
So not too bad.
Yeah,
With
no,
all the
that's
supplies and everything. With all the supplies.
perfect. And then, so as far as the funding, the financing, do you have a rehab loan on this? Are you gonna refinance or
So refinance, I'm going to refinance, and right now I'm actually going to be doing a what you call it, a fence outside and some landscaping, which I still don't have in the calculation how much it's going to cost me. But no, I paid cash for this one, so I paid cash, and I remodeled it for cash too.
okay, okay. So are you gonna do a cash out refi on this?
Yes, yes. So I did a bridge loan right now because I was running out of money. So I just did a small bridge loan to pay off some bills and to do that. But I'll still be okay because I didn't really have the carrying costs.
Of course, of course. So you pay cash for everything, and now
Everything.
you will pretty much get your money out.
Yes.
So you're gonna get 75% of 300.
Correct.
So that's gonna be over, over more than probably you're gonna get all your money out.
Pretty
After you do
close.
the fence, so
Pretty
yeah,
close.
you're gonna be very close to getting everything out. So that's pretty amazing. Having nothing in the deal, yeah, that's incredible. Um,
So I
and
was
then
just lucky because the price was right when I bought it. That was it. So again, it's going to be close, but everything is brand new, so I should be good with mechanically. The house should be fine for a long time.
yeah, it was pretty smart to put the furnace. I mean, in the attic, you said,
Right. So the
or
furnace is actually it's up in the attic, but here it's basically just right above this vent here in the attic. And the way to get to the attic is you have to go outside, but if no renter should be going up there, so you have to bring a ladder out to get up there. And but it was nice because it actually saved me a lot of space. And there was a washer dryer in that other room, that third bedroom. So I got the stackable ones, and it's really a space saver.
of course. So where do you have the laundry right now?
So it's in the kitchen. So
Let me see. I think I missed that. Oh,
when you
I
walk in,
see.
here's your island, and then here's the
Yeah,
back door, and here's your laundry.
yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Then you have some bar stools here. So it's a tight space, but we maximized every inch of the house.
Yeah, that was a brilliant idea. Quick question: did you ever think about the ductless AC, where you have the units up in, like in Europe,
Yes.
for every room versus what you did?
You know what? Yes, I have considered it, but they're more expensive. They are. You know what? I don't know. They say they're very efficient. I'm not sure. I have them in my own house, and I have the ductless ones. I have two. It's like two furnaces or two units condensers in there,
Right.
and it seems like it pulls a lot of energy. I mean, for rentals, you don't care, but I mean, if it's for yourself, they do pull a lot of energy,
Okay.
and they are expensive. And they are expensive. And I did one that was a high efficiency unit, but they are expensive.
Right. Okay.
But
Yeah.
if
But
that's your
when it
only
comes,
option, if that's your only option, I would go with it.
of course.
I actually looked at them also, and I think they make them basically electric. So that's the one I have. It's all electric. The heater's
Right.
electric, and the AC is electric.
Exactly. Yeah. No, this is great. I really like the design. It's very modern. I mean, making that third bedroom was huge, right? For back end
Right,
value.
right, right.
Um,
That helped me out a lot.
of course, on the back end. What about the roof? Did you need to do anything with the roof?
You know what? We just had hail damage, so we're going to be putting in a claim on that.
Okay.
So that's coming in the next week or two. So or the roof and gutters and siding. So it was already acknowledged by the insurance company. Now we're just getting in queue to get it done.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Are you working with Elena on that one?
I am. I am.
Great. Yeah, she's awesome. She just got us approved for another roof and siding in Harbor Heights.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, so we got the approval yesterday. So no, this is great, George. This looks very very cool. Hey guys, I'm asking too many questions. I want to open this up for all of you. Do you guys have questions for George? Don't be shy, please. Ask questions. Like for instance, where did he get the materials? What challenges did he face? Why did he decide to go Airbnb versus long-term rental? All these kind of questions. Um, Anything that you guys can think of.
Hey, Hugo, I just came on, and so I didn't hear all of the information about the property. So I'm wondering, where's the property located? Where did he find it? And what do the numbers look like?
Okay, so MLS property, he got a really great deal. It used to be a 2-1 single family home for 158, but he turned the furnace room into a third bedroom. So the back end value turned out to be a little bit over 300,000. So all in is close to 210 or so. He paid cash, so for everything. So he's going to do a cash out refinance. He'll get 70 to 75%, let's say 70% of 300,000. So he's going to be able to get 210,000. So pretty much he'll have very little or no money stuck in the property.
And
So
where's the property located?
all these plains, which is an A neighborhood. The rents, it's an A plus, I would say A minus neighborhood. So it's a very good neighborhood. And rents are through the sky. This place is one of the top rental markets in the northern suburbs. So it's just a great neighborhood. Hey, John, did you have another question?
Yes. So with Airbnb, do you have management in place to handle like the pretty much the responsibility, like the cleaning and all that?
So I have that already set up. I have one going in Florida right now, so I figured it out, and so I'm doing that myself right now.
Okay, so you're self-managing.
Yes.
Okay.
And this place obviously allows Airbnb
Yes.
hmm
because there are some villages that do not allow short-term rentals. Okay, yeah, great questions. Anybody else? Questions for George?
I have a question, Hugo. Uh,
Yes,
this is Michelle. I'm just curious, how do you write up the lease when you do those Airbnbs?
George,
What
do you want to
terms
take
do
that
you
one?
have to
You,
put
you
in?
don't, because you have to go through their platform, and it goes through the Airbnb platform. So it's all set up. So you take digital payments, or you take credit card payments, or debit card payments, and it goes through the process. So when you sign up and you go through the whole process, and then there's a different way of doing your taxes also. It's not long-term taxes, it's short-term, so it's considered income. So it's a little bit different setup.
But it's already set up through the Airbnb platform, so there's no
Correct.
paperwork.
Yeah,
There's no
exactly.
paperwork that you need to hand out or check
Correct.
back or none of that stuff.
You
It's
don't
all
meet
done
with
through you.
anyone. It's all automated.
Exactly. So it's pretty convenient. Now, what made you go Airbnb versus long-term rental?
You know what? Because the location, it's near the airport. It's about 12 minutes to the airport. So I figure location's good. And also, you know what? It's a smaller house, square footage wise. So I figure, you know what? It's more convenient to stay in a small house than a hotel. And it might not suit everybody to be in a small house. So, but I made it as, medium finishes, but nicely done.
Very good. Did you have to redo any systems such as electric, plumbing,
Everything.
everything?
So plumbing, yeah, I was able to have my guys do that. So that came out significantly cheaper than hiring a plumber. Electric also same thing. I actually had to hire an electrician, a licensed electrician, but I was able to do all the piping and wiring, whatever, with my guys. And the guy just installed the box, and then he used his license for the box, so that was okay. And then, yeah, those are the two major things. HVAC, my best friend's the HVAC guy, so he just moved the furnace for me to the attic and redid some of the ductwork for me, so that didn't come out to be very expensive.
Great. So how much was to upgrade the plumbing system and electric system roughly?
So you know what? To do this house, I think it was somewhere close to, for just the rough and the finished plumbing, all that. I think I was somewhere around 3,500, almost 4,000.
That's nothing. Whoa. What
Right.
about electric?
Electric was a little bit more because I had to buy these circuit breakers and displays that require these special circuit breakers. I can't think of what they call them, but they're special ones and they're expensive. So I had to take. I left. Well, whatever. I think electric was about 6,000,
Okay.
and HVAC, like I said, it was through a really good friend of mine. So that was under a couple thousand to move the furnace and do a little bit of duct work.
Yeah, I mean, it was very cheap. 60,000, George, for everything you did. I mean, it's
Right.
nothing.
Right. I know.
It was extremely low.
How many
Right.
square?
This is a small house. It's 700, I think, in 750 square feet.
Okay.
So, yeah. What
George,
threw me off was the termites because I had to treat for termites and then I had to redo all the joists and then we had to also pour concrete. We had a dirt crawl space, so I had the cement truck come and then we put a vapor lining on the bottom of the house here and then we poured new concrete, just a thin slab on the bottom, about 3 inches thick, and that cured any kind of moisture issues that they were having and rotting from not having a vapor barrier in the crawl space.
Okay. Very cool.
So that wasn't too bad either because it was basically just not even. It was about a half a day labor with a couple guys and then the cement for the cement truck. And it's not perfectly like troweled out, so it's not perfectly smooth like what you would call a sidewalk, but it didn't need to be. It just needed to be clean, and it needed to just suit the purpose. But it's smoothed out the best they could, but they're not cement finishers in any way.
Great. No, that looks so beautiful. Guys, do you have any other questions for George?
I'm curious to
Yes, I have
know
a
how was
question
it to
here.
work with the village?
You know what? The hardest was just to get the permits, and the inspectors were they were quite thorough. That's all I want to say. They're quite thorough. So we didn't pass inspections the first time out ever on anything. So they always found some kind of correction. So they had to come back and or whatever and re-inspect. We had to do corrections after a re-inspection. So they are a little bit tough.
Yeah, Parvesh went through the same experience, right? Working with the village, it's not easy.
Right.
It's not the
Right.
easiest for village to work with, but it's okay. It's doable.
It's doable.
We've done only one property in this place, and yeah, we experienced the same thing. Now, the materials. Where are you getting the materials from, George?
You know what? A variety of places, from supply houses to
Okay.
Home Depot and Menards, basically.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the rough material I was buying from Menards. They had the cheapest material prices. But finished material like tile and stuff like that, just a variety of different places, either Home Depot or different type of tile supply houses.
Okay. Okay, great.
Yeah.
We like. Do you use floor and decor? We like them for the tile.
You know what? I looked at them. They have a nice variety. They just were a little bit more money, so I went with the cheaper tile. So I just shopped it a little bit more, and but I do know that they have 0% for like 12 months, so it depends on what you're looking for.
Great. Yeah, but the budget was amazing. I think for everything you've done, I would estimate no less than 90 to 110,000 for everything you did.
So you know what? Also, I did not hire like individual contractors for everything. So I
Yeah.
have my own crew that was working for me. So
Yeah.
that's a little bit different too.
You saved a ton of money. I'm guessing no less than 30, 40,000 that
Right.
you were below what it would
Right.
typically. Yeah, I mean that's impressive, George. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you guys have any other questions for George?
Yes, George, is this your first deal?
No, no, it's
Okay.
not. I've done different properties, and I'm doing more properties now. I also own multi-unit, whatever properties, prior to being with Chicago DealVault or Mastery. Um, but you know what? I joined these organizations to just hone in my skills and try to learn more from them to scale up, and that's what I'm doing now, scaling up.
Okay, good, good. You said you paid out of your pocket. You paid cash for everything. Why did you do
Correct.
that as opposed to getting a loan
You know
or
what? I
getting
wasn't set
a
up to do
lender?
the loan right away, and I should have. I was, you know what? I had the cash, and I just did it quickly, and that's the way I did it. I probably, in hindsight, I do it differently now. So when I pull my money out, I will do it differently going forward, and I will just have, I'll be able to scale up faster because I won't lock myself in with one project. I can do multiple projects at once.
Okay, yeah, that's the point of the question. I appreciate your help, your answers, and you did a great
Yeah.
job with this house, man. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Any other questions for George?
George, you said you had your own crew. Do they do any work for anyone else, or are they just strictly your group?
Strictly my group.
Thank you.
Yeah, George has a few properties lined up, so I'm sure he's going to keep his crew really, really busy. How is the Mondeland House, the Deerfield, uh,
So everything's moving forward.
is moving forward?
Yeah, everything's moving forward. Actually, I'm on the line. I had a problem with permitting over there also, but I got everything in line. I actually just have to go pay for them tomorrow. And then everything else is just lining up, and everything is, it's, you get a pipeline. And it was hard for me to get traction to get a pipeline, but now I have a pipeline. So everything is, now I understand the process, and now I am understanding how this works. Again, I'm not a contractor. I wasn't doing this full time, but now I'm doing it more, doing it full time. But now I understand how the pipeline works and how to access funds and how to do everything else and materials and line things up in a certain way and how to keep costs down. And so now it's going to be just a process of continue doing what I'm doing now and then just try to tweak things to bring costs down even more if I can and just make sure I have enough work and funding to, keep things moving.
Great. Now, George, what would you do differently? What are the lessons learned in this project?
Lessons learned. You know what? I would have hired a person to do the drawings for this house because I was the one that actually measured everything here and designed everything and had to reform all the walls because the kitchen was not in this design. There was actually right here was a dishwasher, but it was an 18-inch dishwasher. Here was a stackable oven, and the house layout was just terrible. And I would have hired an architect or somebody to sketch out the drawings for me because that took me a little bit more time, and that's not my forte. I mean, I could have given them the vision of what I saw and let them do it for me, but that was probably the most tedious work for me to do. That and um, I think just that, and if anyone could help me, if I could figure out a way to streamline permitting, just the drawings and the permitting thing was probably the hardest thing for me. Everything else was pretty. I've done most of this type of work before, or had it done before, or managed people do it, or did it myself. So everything else was pretty straightforward.
So did the village require the blueprints with the stamp?
No stamp, but they let me draw them. But you know what? They were a little bit. They wanted more detail. So they would review the plans. They came back to me. They wanted more detail, in my plans, and so that's what took me a little bit longer.
Got it.
So I
Okay.
think we went back and forth about 3 times. So now going forward, I know what they're looking for, so it'll be easier. But it was my first time actually doing a full big project like this. Normally, if I would take on a big project like this in the past, I would hire somebody, but I tried doing it myself and I did it myself. But it was not, I don't think it was cost effective for me because it just took too long I'm not an architect, but I have a vision, but it took me longer to sketch everything out, remeasure it, double check, make sure that furniture would fit and different things of that nature and whatever, and that's it. And I think, you know what, another mistake I made was with this door. This door here to the second bedroom should have been moved over to right here, and this would have gave me more clearance and a bigger bedroom space. Those are the two errors that I see right now. That's the only thing that I saw that where I could have improved on in this particular project. And all the other doors, the way I set them up was you line them up all the way against the wall. When you have small bedrooms, if you're reframing, you want them to open on the walls. So then this way, it actually is a space saver instead of in the middle of the room.
Right. No, that makes sense.
And yeah, that was about it. Those are the only those are the two big errors that I think that I made, or errors. They just took me more. There was a time suck, and I would if I could go back and correct it. Those are the two things. And of course, I probably should have. I would have financed it. I would have done it with financing instead of paying it for everything out of my own pocket, and that's what I would have done.
Okay. That makes sense. So the blueprints typically they cost about 2,000 and they take about a week and a half, 2 weeks. But
Right.
typically they're required by the village if you change layouts, right? But
Yes.
I mean it's totally worth it, right? Because then you get the architect takes into account the code, the village code. So it's just very easy, convenient. But yeah, it's about 2,000.
Right.
But I believe I agree with you. It's totally worth it.
Totally worth it. I won't
For
do it again. Right.
Right, for Harwood Heights, it took about 2 weeks to complete the blueprints, but that's what the village expected.
Right.
So we just want to comply, and as you said, we're not architects, nor do we want to be architects.
Correct.
So
Correct.
exactly, great, no, great lessons learned. But I'm pretty impressed on your rehab and then your budget. I mean, that's mind blowing, George.
So, and again, you have to shop for materials, and I did shop the materials. So that was a big deal. Most of the stuff I bought was on sale. The fireplace I bought for, I think I paid $280 for that fireplace. So it was a clearance item.
Whoa.
So I was lucky there. I mean, I had a lot of things, so even the tile, whatever that they were rubbing, some of them were leftovers, only so many pieces left, so they discounted them. So got lucky.
Yeah, no, that's huge. Very nice. Nicely done, George.
Thank
Are
you.
there any other questions for George?
How long did the whole rehab process take you, George?
About 7 months.
That's a long time, but at the end, everything came out really nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. So let's give George a big round of applause. Thank you, George. Amazing job, and thank you for taking the time to go to your property and show us your amazing rehab.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, great. Thanks, George. Okay, guys, so let's continue with the meeting. So I'm sure George is going to get busy, and he's going to be able to rent this property like extremely fast. It looks so beautiful, and then again, it's a great neighborhood. Um, okay, guys. So before we get started, are there anything that you want to discuss regarding what we're doing for the next few weeks on the Rehab Palooza?
No.
Hey, can we just get a quick status on Jessica's project, Michelle, Roy? How are you guys doing with your rehabs? David Myers on Lansing, um, Pulsing, how are you guys doing with your rehabs? Who wants
Mine is
to go
coming.
first?
I'll
Go ahead.
start. Mine's coming along. The windows are supposed to be installed next week. The cabinets are supposed to be arriving next week, so then they can be installed. The flooring on the main floor is almost done. So everything's coming along.
Great. And then, so you're not going to do the garage, right,
No,
Jessica?
no.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably too much hassle,
Just
time,
I'll
money.
probably just asphalt the driveway.
That's a good idea. So when would you anticipate putting the property in the market?
Sometime next month.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Everything gets done. Everything should hopefully will be finished within the next few weeks. So I'm hoping by mid-June or the third week in June, it should be ready to go on the market.
Great. And then were you able to stay, I believe you were targeting below 60,000 or so for your rehab, or are
Oh,
you
below 70.
below
The amount,
70?
yeah, the rehab amount that I got was 69, but I made some changes or whatever, so it's gonna come in, I believe, under 69.
That's awesome. And then, great, perfect. Have you had any challenges on the rehab, anything that you did not expect?
Well, at first I wasn't gonna do the windows because when I got the inspection, there was nothing wrong with the windows. But then when I went back and looked, um, two of the windows were cracked. So I was like, okay, they're cracked. I gotta replace the windows. So that's kind of why it took me so long in purchasing the windows, because at first I really, even though I had allowed in the budget for the purchase of the windows, when I got the inspection and the inspector said, oh, well, your windows are in really good condition, you know, I wasn't going to replace them. And then I started looking on the block to see how many houses had new windows and how many had the older windows. So especially once I saw the two that were cracked, I was like, well, I can't sell a house with cracked windows. So I went on and got the windows. So
Okay, great job. How much are you paying total for all the windows?
I got 16 windows and two of them are really big. For with installation, it was 92.
Okay. I believe in the front, right? You have really big windows.
Yeah, the front of the house and the master bedroom, well, really it's three big windows. The front of the house has like a 144-inch window.
Mm,
Um, the master bedroom and the family room, which is in the lower level, I think it's like 96 inches long. So
okay,
those two are real long. And then the front window, like I said, it's 144 inches.
okay, okay, that makes sense. Do you know how much you're gonna lease the property for, roughly?
I'm gonna when the time comes, I'm gonna go back and check the market again. My projected listing price was gonna be about 215 when I first purchased it. So I'm gonna go back and check the market again and see how it's going as to whether I can stick with the 215 or I can raise it or lower it. It depends. But my price was gonna be about 215, 220.
Okay, perfect. That makes sense. You'll evaluate once you're ready to list it put it on the market. That's great. Awesome. Are there any questions for Jessica? Anybody? Okay. Thank you very much, Jessica, for the update.
You're welcome.
What about Michelle, Roy,
Hi.
David Myers? Yeah, go ahead,
My
Michelle.
my project is moving along. I finally got the drywall and the mudding up, and they're supposed to be putting in the kitchen cabinets and the bathroom together and laying flooring. So hopefully everything will keep moving along right now. It has slowed me down because I made some changes within the original scope of work. So uh, I really didn't think about having that blueprint written up beforehand. So they kind of set me back to get everything. And I found out that's why it was taking so long for my permits to come through because I didn't, you know, put in that blueprint before when I started taking down walls and things like that.
Okay, okay. That makes sense. So, guys, if you notice, out of three investors, two of them, right, brought up exactly the same point, blueprint. So it's obviously very important the minute you start changing layout. Meaning, if you're going to put up a wall, or if you're going to remove a single wall, please, by all means, do blueprints. It's totally worth it because guess what? The architect is going to give you different perspectives or new ideas when you're going to start changing layouts, right? So it's critical, sticking to the code. Um, so it's not as easy as you think, right? Oh, I'm just going to put a bathroom up there. No, guess what? It has to have certain measures. Yeah, the bathroom has to be a certain size to be considered a legal bathroom. And there are so many things that obviously we do not know, but they do. So yeah, it's super critical. And then use the village is going to be very happy with you if you present a blueprint because you're going to make their life way easier, right? Whereas if you do your own drawings, they might be giving you a hard time and you might be going back and forth. So um, great. So thank you for bringing that up, Michelle. So I'm glad that now you're moving along with the project. Is there anything else that might be holding you back at this point?
Yeah, I'm having a problem getting the right tenant for this my rental property. It's been vacant now for 3 months. I get a lot of inquiries, but for some reason, I guess I run into, I don't know. Am I wrong for wanting to do a home visit on a tenant before I rent to them?
Okay, so let me understand. You have a property ready to be rented and you haven't been able to rent it for 3 months.
Yes.
What's the feedback?
I get, I have like hundreds of people inquiring about the property per day.
Yeah,
And
good. And
I've
then,
shown to, I accepted only about 10 of those applicants out of those hundreds that I be receiving per day because I've been trying to make sure I put the right person in here because the last tenant I had, I didn't think I vetted them correctly.
okay.
So I've been going through a lot of people, and when they get to the part of the home visits, they don't want to seem to cooperate with that, and that's where I'm losing out on.
What do you
So
mean
I was
that
like,
they don't want to cooperate? Who does not want to cooperate?
well, there, I schedule a time and date to do the home visit on them and collect their moving papers, and they just do a disappearing act on me, and I don't hear from them no more. So I was like, I'm not. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Is that not a procedure anymore? I don't know.
Can you give me the address? Do you have it listed on Zillow?
Yeah, I have it listed on Zillow, Jumper.
What's the
Uh,
address? Let me put it and I'll share the screen. So we just quickly take a look at it.
9111
91,
South
sorry,
Kingston.
sorry, what was it?
9111
Oh, 9111 South Kingston
Kingston.
Avenue in
The
Chicago.
Chicago 60617.
Okay, so I see this on Trulia. 3 bedroom, 2 bath.
Yes.
Okay, so let me share my screen so everyone can see what we're looking at. Um, share my screen. Okay, is this the listing?
That's
Does
it.
this look okay? So 22, it's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Let me take a look at the pictures. We have 6 pictures. Okay. Okay, so the kitchen looks pretty nice. Okay, so everything looks pretty nice. You have laundry. Whoa, you have a finished basement. So yeah, some okay pictures of the park and the house. Which one is it? I'm going through the pictures, but I think I'm showing other pictures. Hold on a second. So
Yeah,
you only have 6 pictures, right?
yours, mine, yeah, mine's just ended with the basement you were just
With the
showing.
basement. Okay, okay, the basement. Whoa, it looks really, really nice. So that okay, so they're just not showing up. Okay, so where do you have it listed?
I have it listed on affordablehousing.com.
Okay,
I have it listed on juniper.com. I have it listed on uh,
Zillow.
Zillow, and it's one other place. Uh, I can't. I
Okay,
can't. Let me look at this.
that's good enough. So let's say somebody calls you. What do you do next? How do you
What
screen them?
I let them know that I'm gonna send them my screening application. I go through Smart Move with my screening applications,
Okay, so I
and
call you.
I
Hey,
ask,
hey, I'm interested in your house for rent. Then what do you do? What's next?
please text me your email address so I can send you my screening application.
And then, but I'm gonna say, well, before I fill out the application and pay money, I want to see the house.
I'll send them the virtual video I have of the house, and I tell them that my screening applications are determining with the applicants that that I do the tours for.
Okay, okay. And then what's the response?
They usually fill out the screening application. I'm not having no problem with them filling out the screening application. Then I go through the ones that I accept, the ones that I put on hold, ones that's conditional. I I go through the whole 9 yards with a lot of them, and some of them just don't want to pay for the screening application. They want me to waive that fee, which I don't. But
So
that's
let me understand. Let me understand this, Michelle. You won't show the property unless they fill out the screening application, which is like $40 from my smart move, correct?
right, right.
Okay, so
I send them a virtual video. But I don't do the walkthrough until I have accept them on as an applicant.
okay, okay.
That's for my
Uh,
safety. You know what I'm saying? Because I have to show the property alone a lot.
Okay. And then are they mostly Section 8 holders who are applying to the for the property?
Yeah, about 80% of them are Section 8 holders that have been applying.
Okay. Okay, so
Yeah,
I
it's
would
just that when it comes to me, I've accepted the applicant, and then once I accept the applicant, I sit down and tell them the next steps as far as where we move forward with making sure that everything goes through, signing their moving papers to send to CHA, and
Yeah,
also setting the date to sign the lease and get the deposits and everything.
but I see. But let's say once they fill out the application and they pay the 40 to Smart Move, then at that point, if you approve them, then you can show the property physically, correct? Or not yet?
Right, right.
At that point, you do show the property, and then they just don't do anything, right?
Yeah, well, I said I'm interested, and like I said, I sit down and tell them that I required a home visit as well as when I go and sign their moving papers, and
Okay.
everything seems okay. But when I go to do the actual day that I'm going to see them at, they do a no-show on me. Nobody answers the door. Or they're calling me and asking me if they can just send me their moving papers because they can't make it back home in time. And those kinds of little things I've been bothered with getting the lease
Of course.
done.
Of course, that makes sense. Hey guys, so now I want to bring this to the audience. Do you guys see anything wrong, awkward, or any suggestions from Michelle?
I think she's doing the smart way without wasting the time. She qualified the customer first and then showing the property.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Anybody else?
I think most people probably have an issue with paying for uh, the screening or whatever before even seeing the property. Because I can tell you, and a video and pictures don't always do a place justice. So, and
Okay.
they may want to see it before they put in the application fee.
Okay, good point, Jessica. Anybody else or anything else? Anybody else? Any other feedback from Michelle?
Well,
Have you
well,
thought about getting somebody to show the place for you? Just,
well.
set up an appointment.
I just talked to a young fellow. Hugo, you may know Michael Applegate. He
Yeah. I know.
Yeah,
about taking over the management for me to see if he can get somebody in there for me
right,
and
right.
work the property.
No, of course. So let me tell you, Michelle, this is how we would do it, and this is what I suggest you do. So number one, um, you have a beautiful rehab. It seems like for the few pictures, but your pictures are terrible. It doesn't show the actual beauty of the property. So I would hire the professional photographer, 175. Get the pictures. You have them on the right places, except the MLS. I would also put it on the MLS. Okay, that's going to be super, super important. And then as far as the screening, let's talk about screening. I 100% agree with Jessica. A lot of people are going to have a hard time paying $40 before seeing the property. So let me tell you how we do it. So we screen we do a reverse skip tracing on the cell phone number. Okay, so this is how it works. We put it for rent. We get applicants. So we say, can I please have the cell phone of all the adults, okay, that are going to live in the property? That's how we screen them. And from there, and then we also ask income and then credit, right? So it's just a basic screening. So what are we looking for? So when we do the reverse skip tracing on the cell phone, we're looking for, it's going to show public records, right? We've seen pretty severe, criminal records. So obviously, that public records include bankruptcies. So we won't take people, let's say, with bankruptcies, with financial issues. And that's the only thing that you can discriminate against, financial issues. Income is huge, right? So they've got to make, if you're requesting 22, they have to make 40 times that amount. So they have to make about 84,000.
Right.
However, the exception is Section 8. Right, Section 8, they have been screened, and then the government is going to pay a good chunk of the rent. So we are more flexible with Section 8, okay? So as far as showing the property, we do show the property prior to them submitting an application. Okay, so the way we do it is we schedule, let's say on a Sunday, we allocate maybe 2 hours for showing. So we have them at 12, 12:15, 12:30, and then we put as many people as possible. If we can get 10, 15 people, the better, right? Because that creates a sense of urgency, and we just dedicate a couple of hours once a week. Boom, show the property. And from there, if they're interested, boom, we send them the Smart Move application so they can fill that out. And then if they want to move forward, then we have them come to us to, let's say, give us the paperwork for Section 8, the moving papers. We sign them, they send them to their account manager, and that's it. But yeah, super important. This is what we've noticed. Even if you screen, let's say, because when you have them fill out the Smart Move, this is what we discovered. Every adult has to fill that out once you're ready to move forward with them, not only one. Because you know what we discovered? Even when we screen people via the cell phone number, this is what we discovered. Let's say Jessica called and she said, I'm interested in Schiller Park rental, or let's say your rental. We're going to screen Jessica, she looks good, and then she's going to come with Robert, right? But we didn't screen Robert, and guess what? Robert has lots of issues. So we want to make sure that we screen them both. I want to know, okay, Jessica, how many adult occupants are going to live in the property? She says, well, 2. I need Robert's phone number as well. So we want to screen every single adult prior to showing the property, okay? But we will show the property before we have them fill out the application. So if they like the property, go ahead and fill out the application. Does that make sense? So I think, by sending the video, it's not enough, and I think you're losing potential great prospects, okay? And then I think that's slowing down the process. And then the screening should be done on all the adults. And you can screen them without having them fill out the application, okay?
Yes, but
Go ahead.
do you do the home visit at all? Maybe I'm thinking that's where I'm losing them at.
Yeah, no, of course. So let me give you the sequence. Boom, we do the marketing the way that I told you, affordable housing, MLS, Zillow. That's it. That's good enough. Because through the MLS, it's going to go everywhere, including Redfin. Actually, you know what? For Redfin, we paid. So this is a tip. We paid, I think you paid $10, I don't know, $10, $15. You pay for Zillow, but you also have to pay for Redfin on rentals, but it was not worth it. The type of leads we got, it was not worth it for Redfin, but it is for Zillow. Anyway, you call me,
No,
Michelle. Go ahead.
no, you go. I think you misunderstand what I was asking you.
Oh, okay.
I said, do you do the home visits before potential tenants?
Yeah, we show the property, of course, to potential tenants before they fill out the
No,
Smart
not
Move.
show the property. Do you visit their home before you
Oh,
rent for them?
no. Of course not. No, we've never done that before. No, we've never done that before. Yeah, I mean that. I know some people do that, but no, we don't go that. We care about credit, income. That's for us the big things. Whether they're clean and neat. No, we're not so big on that. Yeah, we've been fortunate, right, that no tenant has destroyed the property. But yeah, that's a risk, right? If you don't check where they live today, you don't know how they are going to become, right, when they live in your property. Yeah, no, that's a good. We don't do that. Does anybody do that? I mean, does anybody visit where they live?
Hey, Michelle.
Yes,
Hello.
yes.
I've been listening to the conversation, and I think that you're doing your home visits too early in the process. I think once you have a solid candidate for your unit, then you should do a home visit. So I like the idea of setting up an open house, maybe once a week or once every other week. Get as many people to come through so you can get the foot traffic. And then once you give them your application process and they agree to go through that, then they got skin in the game if they put up the $40 for the background check. And so at that point, when it things become imminent, then I think you should do the home visit. But I don't think you should do it before you have a solid prospect.
Yeah, I don't do it until I have a solid prospect. That's why I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong, and I think it's just the home visits because I do determine I've went through all the paperwork, the background check with them. It's not that I've had a problem with them, the ones that do apply. I get solid background and everything on them, and it's just when I go to do the home visit, they turn out to be a no-show on me, and I don't know why. After we've talked and I've even spoken to them numerous times about the rental of the place and uh, signing the lease as well. So I don't know where I guess it's just the home visit. That's where
Yeah,
I'm losing out
You
at.
might
But
I think so.
you might have to lower your standards a little bit.
Yeah, I think so, Michelle. I would, if I were you, I would skip the home visit. I think that's too personal. I would feel if I was a tenant that that's too intrusive. I wouldn't want that because the bottom line is the damage, right? What damage can they have or do on the property? Just if they have good credit, right, and strong income, I'm sure they're going to take care of the property. And also, um, a good indication is how long they've been living where they are right now, right? If they've been there for a couple of years, 2, 3, 4 years, I mean, that's a good indication, right? That you won't have them move out quickly. Um, so then you can also work on security deposit, right? Maybe have them, pay 1.5 or, I mean, there's in Chicago, there are laws for security deposit as to how much you can charge, but you can do moving fee and then you can have them pay first and last rent for the lease. So there are ways to work around the potential damage on the property. But I think that's where your process is failing on the home visit because I think this is too intrusive on them. Yeah.
yeah, I
So,
was just told by several other landlords that's what I did wrong the last time after the girl trashed my place and I had to fix it back up. Uh, I was told that I should have did a home visit, and that's why I said maybe I need to do the home visit this time to at least see how they living now before I put them in my place and I have to deal with that.
right,
So
right.
I don't know. That's why I was just trying to see if anybody else was doing that.
Yeah, not that I know of. And like Mark Goodman, right? He's one of the best-selling leasing agents. He's not doing that, right? So, and again, there's no guarantee. Let me give you an example. We had a tenant in in Elgin. When she got in the property, she had maybe 1 or 2 kids. She ended up like with 6 kids, right? So the unit, after maybe 6 years, got destroyed. But anyway, it needed to be upgraded, so it was not a big deal. Of course, it was expensive, 15, 20,000 that we spent on the unit, but she paid rent for 6, 7, 8 years. I don't know. So it's just difficult to predict how they're going to take care of the property. I mean, what you can do instead is, if you're afraid how they're taking care of the unit, do bi-yearly inspections, right? And if you see that they're not taking care of the place, then you take action. Then, right? You
That's
don't
how
wait,
it's supposed to work, Hugo. But I'm telling you, I just went through that, and I'm doing everything by the book, but my tenant was not.
right? No, that
Yo,
makes sense. That makes sense. But yeah, I mean, I think you need to change the way you're doing things because otherwise, I mean, 22 times 3, you lost 6,600 in rent plus carrying cost. So your loss is huge. You've got to change the way you do it. So if I were you, immediately put it on the MLS because then you get a broker. Your broker is going to show the property. You get the leads from Zillow, and then you can send those once they're screened for your broker to show the property, right? And then the pictures definitely need to be improved because you have a nicely rehab property. And then skip the home visit for now. I think you're gonna be better off. So yeah,
Okay, thanks, Hugo.
yeah, let's try that. Okay, thank you, Michelle, for sharing your experience. Anybody else? Roy, how is your Melrose Park and your Mason rehab?
They're both going well. I'm actually here now at Maywood doing trim. So
Okay,
I'm scheduled. I wanted it to be finished maybe about a week ago, but I had some delays with cabinets. Had some stuff was on back order, so that slowed me down. But basically, we'll be painting and finishing everything out next week. So this project should be wrapped up by the end of next week.
awesome. And you're gonna
Either
be
end of the
showing us
week.
your property, right?
Yeah, we're supposed to show this one on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
so I'll be getting right down to the wire. So I got the trades coming in the rest of the week and the early part of next week, and painting the schedule for second quarter painting schedule for Tuesday and Wednesday. So pretty much I should be just finishing up on that by Wednesday. Enough to
Okay,
show it. It's still some exterior stuff that got to be done, but for the most part, it will be substantially completed.
okay, awesome. Great. Um, thank you, Roy. Anybody else? Let me share my screen. Um, I went to see this house over the weekend on Sunday with our GC. So this is 607 Douglas Avenue. Okay. Um, let me show you the pictures. Are you guys able to see the
What
pictures on the screen?
what township or
Oh,
neighborhood?
Calumet City, Calumet City.
Okay.
Uh, what do you guys think so far based on the pictures?
So far, looks good.
It looks good, right?
Yeah, it looks good.
It looks good, right?
Yep.
So
Not
that's what I
foundation
thought.
problem?
Huh?
Any
That's what I
foundation problem or roof leak
no.
or
So
flooding?
let me tell you the story. This house belongs to a deal maker. Okay. Um, so first of all, the rehab took too long, over a year and a half. Then the property, he put it on the market. Right now, he dropped the price. It was 185. They dropped the price to 165. Okay, guys. Um, so Michael, he came to me and he said, Hugo, I'm not able to sell the property. Well, how can, I don't understand why. So he's pretty preoccupied, right? Because he's got to pay the loan and he's bleeding a lot of cash. Um, so then I went to see the property on Sunday because guess what? But before going out to see the property, what I did is I sent an appraiser for the property. So John told me, hey Hugo, ARV, I'm getting comps at 220, 225. However, the way the property it is, with the current rehab, as his value is 150, max 175. Okay, so I went to see the property. The problem is the rehab quality is horrible. Okay, like horrible. The paint job is awful. The pictures are so beautiful, and this is what I meant, Michelle. Look at these pictures, right? The pictures are professional, but the rehab is crap. I mean, the bathroom, guess what, needs to be redone completely. I mean, all the plumbing it's not up to code. I mean, the shower head, if you step in the shower, it's going to hit your forehead. I mean, it's horrible. The tile work, it's just not good, right? Even the kitchen, it's not good. So then we would need to spend 60, 70,000. which does not make any sense at this point, right? So that is why he's not able to sell the property. In fact, you know, the appraiser told me, Hugo, this property is not going to sell the way it is. They need to take it off the market. And that's, you know, I talked to Michael, and this is what we need to do. We need to remove these from the MLS, and we need to try to wholesale this property as is. This would be for an investor. We would need to try to wholesale this property, sell it off market for no more than 130, 125. Okay, so guys, this is an example. I'm going the extreme, right? The other spectrum. If the rehab is not properly done, I mean, this is a nightmare, right? You know, not being able to sell the property. To fix this, it's gonna be very, very difficult. It's like redoing everything, right? The paint job, the bathroom, the kitchen. I mean, that's too much. The basement has termite issues and some water issues. So, and then there's like a pitch on the floor. And then the bedrooms, the front and back on the second floor are super small. They're like storage rooms, not even bedrooms. So the layout, the rehab, this is a big problem, right? So what we need to do here, or what I recommended, is to sell it as soon as possible to an investor for 125, 130 tops. So that what they need to do is just maybe clean it up well, fix certain things that were not completed, and rent it. But there are going to be so many issues arising from the rehab, right? When you get a tenant in there, oh my goodness, they're going to be calling the landlord left and right to address plumbing issues. The electric, it's got a 100 amp service panel. It's got to be updated to like 200. The old electric is outdated, so that's a big expense. Plumbing, it's the same, right? No, it's not updated. So this is an example of, you know, like a nightmare experience that I want to make sure that all of you never get into this type of situation. So first of all, you cannot let a rehab of a 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom 2-bath go beyond 90 days, okay? When something like that happens, I mean, it's a red flag, right? And then you've got to supervise the quality, right? You cannot show up to the property once, you know, they completed the whole project or half of it, especially when you're trying something new. And when you try someone new, you don't give them the entire project. You give them small pieces, right, until they prove themselves. So that's critical, guys. And then obviously never hire handyman to do these type of rehabs because they don't know the code. They're going to do horrible job. You've got to hire licensed contractors, licensed electricians, licensed plumbers, a GC. Obviously, it's gonna be more expensive, but at least you will not be in this type of position, right? Because this is a big problem right now. So yeah, we're gonna try to step in and help Mike. Even dropping the price to 165 is not gonna do it. What's happening is that it's burning the listing. So this needs to be done off market. Cancel the listing and then try to sell it to an investor so they can hold the property. But this is a tough one, okay, guys? So please be very careful when your contractor is taking over 3 months, because it might be a red flag, right? They may not know what they're doing, or the quality may be jeopardized. So I wanted to share this transaction or property with you guys as an example of what you don't have to fall into. Okay, are there any questions on this property? And guess what? He got it for a great price. He paid like 80-something thousand. So he got it for a great price. Well, guess what? I mean, that doesn't mean much if the construction piece fails, because guess what? The whole transaction fails. This is a perfect example, right? So we want to help, our investor stop the bleeding ASAP. Are there any questions on this property? Okay, so we're gonna step in and help Michael. I already talked to Russell. We're preparing all the paperwork. We would like to do a blast. First of all, have his broker take care of the MLS, and then do a blast on this for like an off-market type of deal. But it's gonna be a lot lower, for like 125, 130, probably just enough for him to break even. Right? He's not going to make any money, but at least we're trying to prevent bleeding and losses from happening. So guys, please be aware of this. Okay. Now, are there any questions? Anybody on the, oh, Michael, you're on the line. Perfect. Michael?
Yeah, go ahead, Leo.
Okay, perfect. I'm glad you're on the line. Awesome. So I see that your broker dropped the price to 165. So what is your broker trying to do with this property? It's not going to sell retail.
I talked to her and I told her what I was doing with you.
Yeah.
But of course she's trying to do something else. So, and that's why I said I wanted to talk to you today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
So let me
got
ask you this. Let me ask you this. Did she drop the price without your consent?
she told me she was going to try something else. She could drop the price to see if someone else would want it. So she did tell me that she was going to drop the price.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but I didn't agree with it. No, I told her what I was going to do, that I had talked to you about it, and that's what I
Exactly.
explained to you.
Exactly. Yeah, obviously, the broker is looking after her interest, right? Because the commission, right? She would lose the commission if you cancel the
Right.
listing, right?
Yeah, because
So yeah, that is why I get so upset with these brokers. But anyway, it's your call, Mikey. I mean, whatever you tell your broker, she's gotta comply with it. Um, because this type of property is not for a retail buyer. Because as soon as they bring an inspector, oh my goodness, they're gonna drill you and they're gonna back out of the deal. So she's just wasting your time, she's wasting her time, and obviously you're paying for it, right? Because this is costing you carrying costs. You're bleeding. You've got to stop the bleeding. Um,
right,
and in the first place, the way I saw the property on Sunday, I mean, if I was your broker, I want to tell you, Michael, there's no way we can list this property. It's filthy. It's not ready for showing. I mean, I don't understand, but let me know. She's got to cancel the listing, and then we can do a blast this week to schedule a showing for the weekend. So I already talked to Russell. He's on board. He ran some comps. So we'll try, the somewhere in the 130, 135 off market. Okay, this is for an investor to just repair what's left, hold it as a rental. That's it. To flip this property, it's gonna be practically impossible number wise because they've got to redo a lot. The kitchen, the bathroom, you have issues in the basement, the termite. So it's a tough one. And then the pitch right on the floor. Many things that are going to be very challenging to make this a flip. But anyway, so the point is that we want to help you and stop the bleeding, get paid off, and that's it. We don't want you to lose money. So this was a lesson learned, and that's it. We want you to move forward.
correct.
Okay, so yeah, I'm glad you joined, Michael. So yeah, let me know how this goes, and then we're ready, okay, to
Okay,
do the blast this week. But obviously, we cannot do it if it's listed on the MLS. Are there any questions for Michael? Um, Anyone on the line? Any comments? Any thoughts? Okay, so if no questions, no comments, we'll just work directly with Michael to help him. Okay. Okay, so that same Sunday, guys. So we did, as you all know, we did a mastermind on Monday. Just for the people, we had 5 people came over. So the objective of the mastermind was to have a strategy for the REO inventory that we're been getting from our auction partner, right? There are way too many properties, and some of them are like amazing deals. So let me show you this property that I went to see on Sunday. This is the property. Okay, so this is a property in from our partner that we're gonna pull from the auction, right? So we already signed all the paperwork. This is in Cicero. This is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. Okay, I'm gonna show you the pictures. So this is the the lower floor, first floor. The way you see the pictures is the way it shows. In fact, it does have appliances, guys. So believe it or not, the actual property looks better than what the picture is showing right now because they have stainless steel appliances. So we don't even need to buy appliances on this one. The bathroom looks identical. So these are true pictures. So the property is in really good shape. When I brought the contractor on Sunday, he said, Hugo, we don't even need to paint the kitchen cabinets. All it needs is cleaning, buffing the floors. All the windows are new. The roof is in good shape. From the inside, all we need to do is paint, do some caulking in the bathroom, grouting on the kitchen flooring, and then we would do drywall in the basement. So the basement is semi-finished, so we just need to put drywall in the ceiling and paint it as well, and then update the lower bathroom in the basement. That's it. So not much work, and then siding. So this is the bigger ticket item. So we will need to put a new siding on the property. But the purchase price on this property is 156 plus finder's fee. But I want to show you the CMA on this property. So the CMA on this property, let me maximize this for you guys to see. They're selling for 305, 340, 320. So let's say we go with the conservative number, right? The lowest, 299, 300,000. So all in on this property would be, I would say for rehab, siding is going to be the most expensive. Let's say 40,000, including the siding. 40,000. So all in is going to be close to 200,000, right? But if it appraises for 300,000, thumbs up, right? It's a good deal. It's a good property. The backyard is, on the side, it's very wide. It's got a 2-car garage plus a carport. So it's a good deal. And this is just one of many. So we're also pulling this one from the auction, this property. Again, purchase price is 186 ARV. Again, it's over 300,000 in Oakland. Look at this property. And again, it's in very, very nice condition. So look at this, the kitchen, everything. Obviously, all these properties need to be painted and some updating for sure. So I'm sure some electric, some plumbing, light electric. But overall, it's a great property. Okay, so my objective is to come up with a system, and that's what the mastermind was for. When we get a list of like 300 properties, support, what we're going to do is we're going to categorize them and sort them by area type. So we're going to be focusing on A and B neighborhoods, okay? We're going to do the Google Maps just to make sure the location is good. We're going to focus on the vacant ones. And then we are going to go visit all of these properties, right? Bring them to the group. And if nobody wants to take them, then we'll wholesale them, right, to the network, to the masses. So that's what we're going to be doing next. We need to put a system in place because I think we're missing huge opportunities, right? We're getting too many properties and taking very little action on pulling these properties from auction. So we've got to leverage from this partner, right, who can get us the properties paying just the reserve. We will never engage in a bidding war because all of these properties are going to the online auctioning platforms, Hubzu, auction.com. So we have the privilege to pull them, paying just the least amount of money the bank is going to sell the properties for. So we've got to take advantage of these one way or another. So we are going to put a lot of resources into this process. Okay, getting people out there to see the properties, assess the scope of work, and then if the numbers make sense, meaning if our max allowable offer is alongside the reserve, then we're going to be putting all of these properties, whether, and we will, we don't know what the exit strategy is going to be, but if the numbers make sense, like the Cicero property, I mean, you could rent it, you can flip it, you can wholesale it, you can do anything so long the numbers work, right? We're going to be focusing on A, B neighborhoods with live rehabs, where we have pretty much a spread of about 100,000, because then you could do anything with these properties. So that's what's going to be coming down the pipe. So I know some of you who came to the meeting are interested in picking properties. That's fine. If you are interested in being part of the process consistently, also let us know how you would like to work with us. If you want to contribute with time, money, whatever you want to work or contribute, then we can talk about it. But yeah, that's the status on the mastermind that we had on Monday, right? Leverage from this inventory and cherry pick the home run deals. Bring them to the group. If you guys take them, fine. If you don't, boom, we send them out. We wholesale them because it's impossible for us to take everything, right? But for sure we'll focus on the home run deals moving forward. And again, A and B neighborhoods. Perhaps, obviously, we may touch C neighborhoods depending on the inventory, right? If we don't get anything from the A or very few from the B, so we will tap into the C market as well. But right now, focusing on the better markets, it's a safer strategy because we're seeing property values go down. So these B and A neighborhoods are least affected, right? Especially when there are layoffs. Are there any questions on this inventory? Let me quickly tell you what the process is. We get the list, which we publish in the DealVault Academy. All of you have access to this who are deal makers. And then the next step is once we publish the inventory, it'll be categorized A, B, C neighborhoods. It's going to be sorted by area type. We're going to tell you when the auction is going to happen. This is the online auction. These are all REOs, bank-owned properties. So you will know how much time we have to pull the property. So technically, we can pull properties even the day of the auction. Okay, but obviously, ideally, we give our partner like 20-hour time frame to pull the property. Okay, so the next step is once you identify a good location, a good property, is to go check out occupancy. We want to target vacant properties. Occupied properties, we cannot do unless the occupant is willing to let us in and move out before we close, right? Because we need access for contractors, appraisers, and because otherwise we won't get funding for them. And that's a big advantage. We can finance all of these properties, whereas when you bid online, you will overpay and you oftentimes need to pay cash for these properties, and we won't. So it's huge, right? Huge benefits. We pulled already maybe 8 properties like this, but we should be pulling, I would say, 2, 3, 4, 5 a month, okay? Given the amount of property that we're receiving. So that's what's coming down the pipe, guys. We're going to totally leverage on this inventory. It takes what it takes. This will take priority to bring new deals, new off-market deals that make sense to the group. Okay. Are there any questions? Any comments? Yes, Michelle.
When you pull those for auction, how many days you get to close on those type of deals?
Great question. So let's say this property in Oakland is going to go to the auction by Friday, right? So we can pull it today, and then in the next 2-3 days, we have to sign a performance agreement with our auction partner and wire. So for this property in Oakland, Ron Brock, he's buying this property. He wired about $17,000. That's finder's fee of $6,500 plus down payment of about 10,000, so about 17,000. And then we're just waiting for the executed contract from the bank, and then we can put the contract through underwriting for funding, and then schedule closing. So we can close, once we have the executed contract in as little as 3 weeks. But yeah, it could. Sometimes I remember in the past it took maybe a few weeks before we got the executed contract from the bank. So then obviously that delayed the possession of the property. But it's okay as long as we have it on the contract or we pull it from the auction. Then we're not in any rush. But yeah, great question. And then for this type of inventory, we have to use Vincent Copero, okay, as the attorney. We don't have any other option, but this is per our auction partner, Jacob. We must use Jacob. We must use Vincent Copero from Real Law Group because he knows the system. He's done many REOs, so we've got to use him, and that's okay. We've used him in the past. He's great. He ensures a smooth closing, and obviously we will get a special warranty deed. Okay, so which pretty much is free and clear title, no encumbrances, no clouds on the title, and that's awesome, right? Unlike if you were to buy properties from the judicial auction where you have to pay cash within 24 hours and you get a sheriff deed, which may come with liens and encumbrances. We don't have to worry about that. We will finance it. We will get a special warranty deed, meaning a clear title, and that's huge. And we won't overpay for the property. We will pay reserve or target price or the minimum the bank is going to let this property go for. And keep in mind, banks are in the business of lending, not real estate. So they're letting these houses go for sometimes what the previous owner owed on the property, which is good because we're paying probably 50 cents on the dollar, and that's huge on properties that don't need much work. So that's coming down the pipe, guys. We're going to put all the resources possible to now start sourcing these bank-owned properties to the group. Any questions? Any comments?
I got two.
Yes.
Okay. So one, this website, have your software team gotten any progress on that malware stuff?
Oh, yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, so GoDaddy and our web masters are working on these. We got like malware on the website, and so yeah, GoDaddy, put a firewall. They put antivirus, so they're working on it to bring the website up. Yeah, it was like a very ferocious virus that even GoDaddy is struggling. So yeah, so as soon as we get an update, we'll let you know. Thank you, John. Yeah, it's been crazy.
I got one more.
Yes.
Are you still doing that one-on-one call that talked about Friday at the?
Yeah, of course. And then we're moving the coffee with Hugo in Oakbrook. So this Friday is going to be in Oakbrook, so people don't have to come all the way to Arlington Heights.
Mm-hmm.
So Oakbrook is going to be more like a centralized location for everyone. So yeah, feel free to come to Oakbrook, or we can do one-on-one over the phone, whatever works best.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, nothing beats in person.
Mhm.
So yeah, if you can come to Oakbrook, that'd be great.
Okay, that's on this Friday.
Yeah, this Friday, every Friday moving forward.
Okay.
Thank you, John. Anybody else?
Hey,
How
good. This is
long?
Sam. Sorry.
Yeah, Michelle. Or
Go ahead,
Go ahead.
Sam.
Somebody else was like,
okay,
Go,
ladies
go
first.
ahead.
Ladies first. Ladies
I was
first.
just gonna ask, how long are you gonna be in Oak Brook? From 10 to when?
Okay, I'm gonna be great question. So I'm gonna be there from 10 to 12. Then I'm gonna go for lunch. If you guys wanna meet me for lunch at Jason's Deli, then lunch is on me. I love Jason's Deli in Oakbrook. And then I'm gonna go back to the coffee place because somebody wants to meet at 1 o'clock. So I'm gonna be there for at least until 2, 3 o'clock. So several hours. Um, yeah, because I want to give the dedicated attention to some of you guys who will be coming. So that is why I'm going to be there for several hours. So again, 10 to 12 at the coffee place, 12 to 1, Jason's Deli, and then back again at the coffee place at 1. Yeah, a great question. Michelle, any other question, Michelle, or can we have some
No, go ahead, Sam.
go
Thank you.
next? Okay, thank you, Michelle.
Jay,
Hope to see you there. Hey, Sam.
Ego, what is the address for Jason Daly?
Jason Daly, let me pull it up.
Which city?
Oh, it's in Oakbrook. Oakbrook. Jason's Daily in Oakbrook. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I will find it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
My
Okay.
question was, do you feel that the price of material, construction material, is coming down a little bit or no?
No, because inflation
Or
is
going up?
still no, still high. No, it's still
Still
high.
high.
Of course, that's killing our rehabs for sure. Especially
Except to
electric materials are super expensive. Yeah, no,
unbelievable. Yes.
yeah, no. So that's not
But
coming down anytime soon.
drywall is coming down, right? Drywall
Maybe
or two by
maybe a
two by
bit.
four.
Yeah, maybe a bit because of the supply chain issue, it's been sort of resolved, so but not by much. Yeah,
Yeah,
still
good.
expensive.
Thank you.
No problem. Anybody else, guys? David Myers, did you have an update on your Lansing? How is that? Are you guys listing that soon?
Hey, Hugo. Yes,
Hey,
we
David.
shoot. How's it going? Hey, good information. We're shooting for June 1st. The village had us held up because of the gas meter. I guess because the gas meter was inside and they wanted
Okay.
it outside. So that's what we're working through. Actually, I want to say it should have been done this week. I know
Okay.
Cisco is working
Perfect.
on that.
It'll
Perfect.
be done on the 30th.
Oh, the 30th. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, they were out there. Well, I was there today, and they had to come back inside to make sure they were putting the meter on the correct side. But they were out there working, and they'll be working until they get everything done. But the meter, according to them, should be installed on the 30th.
Great. Thank you so much, Jessica, helping out on that. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Great job. How much are you guys gonna list it for?
The last we talked about is anywhere between 369 and 349. I got to run comps again just to
Okay.
confirm.
David,
Yes.
check with Sixto because I sent him some pictures
Uh-huh.
of the inside of the property of a lot of
Yes.
stuff that I felt needed to be addressed.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cool. And can you send it to me too, Jessica?
Let me get your number.
You want to
Uh,
text it to me?
yeah, you know what? I think your information is on the site, right?
Yeah, I'll shoot it to you right now. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then, yeah, David, please do run some comps because I had your property appraised.
Yeah.
maybe about a month and a half or so. I sent an appraiser,
Oh, did you?
and
What the numbers come
yeah,
up to?
yeah, if I'm not mistaken, ARV, it was not complete when the appraiser was there, but it was in the like 330 or so. So
Okay,
please do
that's about
check
right.
your, yeah, 330. So please do check your comps. But that was
Yeah.
maybe a month and a half ago or so. Things change super fast.
Yeah. You know what's nice about it? It's on 3 lots, so it's not a typical lot. So,
Exactly, exactly. So, but yeah, it's
all
gonna be
right,
way off. Hopefully you can sell it fast.
you're right about that.
Yeah,
All right,
but
thank you.
thank you, David.
You bet.
Awesome, awesome, guys. So, anybody else? Diego, how are you doing on your closing? When are you scheduled to close on your flip?
Hi, Hugo. I'm gonna close Friday, this Friday.
Perfect, perfect. This is for Calumet City or Markham?
Yeah, Calumet City.
Calumet City, right? Awesome, great job. So, did this buyer get the clear to close?
Yeah, they got that clear to close, and everything is scheduled for Friday around noon, I think.
Perfect, awesome. That's great. So, congratulations. Once you get the clear to close, it's all good.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you, Hugo.
Just make sure, obviously, remember the buyer is going to do a final walkthrough on Thursday, meaning tomorrow, or or maybe Friday before closing. Make sure that the property's all in good shape, right?
Yeah, I still have the alarm system there, and yeah, I'll be there most likely on Friday too, just to make sure that everything is on point.
Exactly. Please make sure that everything is okay for the final walkthrough before closing. Perfect. Great job, Diego.
Yeah, thank you, Hugo.
Awesome. Anybody else? Any other questions? Okay, so if no further questions, yeah, thank you everyone for joining. I look forward to seeing you Friday at Coffee with Hugo in Oakbrook. So thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful evening. If anything, just reach out to us to support to me on anything that you need. So thank you, everyone, and we'll continue to do Rehab Palooza for the next few weeks.